anytime people try to get back together with anyone, they usually say the same thing. We're going to take it slow. But then what happens? They do it for like a week, maybe two, and then they speed everything up. And that's why a lot of reconnections fail. And when avoidance is involved, rushing doesn't just hurt, it kills the whole thing. And what's interesting is that author Robert Greene explained why this happens years ago, especially in The Art of Seduction. But people just ignore it once emotions kick in. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Lucia. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. I hope you've been a good little soldier and stayed in no contact. So I want to be clear about something before we go any further. Taking it slow does not come first. Before you even think about pacing, you need to know whether getting back together even makes any sense. And in my video about the 6 questions to ask your ex before you get back together, which I will link in the upper right-hand corner on the YouTube video, not to be confused with the YouTube podcast, I talk about what you should always ask before agreeing to get back together. Things like, well, why should I take you back? And why did you change your mind? And what's going to be different this time? And 3 other questions that deal with accountability and follow-through. And if those questions don't have solid answers, then taking it slow is not going to save you. You're just dragging out the same ending. So the order matters. First, the 6 questions, then taking it slow. Now, avoidants don't move forward through talking. So let me be very clear about the timing. These questions are not relationship talk. They're not reconnection talk. They're decision questions. And you ask them after the person says they want to get back together, but before you agree to anything. So not on the first casual coffee, not while you're catching up, and not weeks later once you've already gone back in emotionally. So when they say, well, I want to try again, or something similar to that, they're not going to necessarily use those exact words. That's when you slow it down and say, okay, I'm open to talking about it, but I need to ask a few questions first. I need to understand a few things first. And then that's when you ask the questions. And then once those questions are asked and answered in a suitable, acceptable way with great answers, then you stop talking about it. So no more processing, no more rehashing, no more, where's this going? Because at that point, words are done, and then behavior takes over. And that's where taking it slow begins, not with more talking, but with controlled behavior. Now, avoidants don't leave because there's no attraction. They leave because things feel like too much, too fast. So when they come back and you rush again, then you just recreate the exact conditions that made them leave the first time. And that's where Robert Greene's work becomes very relevant. In The Art of Seduction, he says, absence strengthens real desire and exposes weak desire. And this applies to everyone, but it especially applies to avoidance. If attraction is real, then space helps it to grow. And if it's weak, then no amount of closeness will fix it. That's why you always hear absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yes, but only if there was real attraction to begin with. Otherwise, it's out of sight, out of mind. Now, most people panic the second that contact resumes and they remove all space. So they do the constant texting, the frequent meetups, the emotional availability on demand, and that does not build attraction. It suffocates it. And with avoidance, relief has to come before desire. Because, especially for FAs, it's all about relief. Now, Greene also talks about eagerness. And this is also where people mess up. And it's not about playing games. It's about not signaling relief. So the moment you act like, I'm so glad you're back, even though you dump me. I've been waiting. Let's lock this in. You are creating pressure. Avoidants do not move towards pressure. They shut down. And most people rush not because they're manipulative, but because they're anxious. But it's the same result. And Green is very clear about tempo. He says, whoever controls the pace controls the dynamic. So what does taking it slow actually look like? It looks like coffee, not dinner. It looks like ending the meeting early. It looks like 1 hour, not 3. And I talked about this in my video titled, Never Give This to an Ex. And I will put the link in the upper right-hand corner on the YouTube video, not podcast. Now, people think longer equals deeper. No, it doesn't. Long, intense hangouts overwhelm. So short, contained meetings leave curiosity, and because you always want to leave them wanting more. And that's what keeps an avoidant engaged. Now, Robert Greene also says, the more you explain, the weaker you appear. And this is where people think they're being mature and they mess everything up. They want to talk about what went wrong, how much they've grown, where this is going. Avoidants don't reconnect because of conversations. They reconnect because something feels different. So let behavior do the work. Remember, you already had the conversation with the 6 questions. Talking too much, too soon, kills momentum. Now, in The Art of Seduction, he also said, the person who invests more becomes emotionally exposed. So if the avoidant reached out, let them suggest the next meeting. Let them lean forward again. Let them keep opening the door. If you take over the pacing because you're nervous, attraction flips, and it is not going to flip in your favor. Now, Robert Greene also talks about the importance of withdrawing before interest fades. And that's why ending meetings early matters. You don't wait until the energy dies. You leave when it's still good. Not dramatically, not coldly, just cleanly. And that's how interest stays alive. People don't fail at going slow because they don't understand it. They fail because uncertainty is uncomfortable. I understand. Slowing down feels like it's losing control, but it's not. And rushing feels soothing, but that's only temporary. Most people rush to calm themselves, but calming yourself by speeding up is exactly how you blow the reconnection. And by the way, if you're thinking, I know I shouldn't rush, but I can't help myself. That's normal. Most people can't hold this line on their own once emotions are involved, and that's where I come in. That's where coaching helps. And it keeps you from messing things up in real time. So you can contact me at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates. They are not on the website. And that link is underneath every single video and podcast, along with a link to my book, No Contact Secrets, where you can read 2 free chapters, and also my app, Silencio, which will help you stay in no contact if you are not yet at the point where you are reconnecting with an ex. And again, all the links are underneath every video and podcast. So to recap, first, ask the 6 questions, then take it slow. That order matters. Robert Greene explained the strategy. Avoidants prove it in real life. If you control the pace, you control the outcome. So now I want to hear from you. Do you have any questions about anything I said, something you don't understand? And also let me know, how long have you been in no contact and how is it going? And in the meantime, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos or podcasts. And be sure to hit the bell notification. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.